I am also pleased to announce that South Sudan is looking forward to signing an agreement to receive power from the dam.
Welcome to Jimosi podcast. So this week, President Salva Kiir went to Ethiopia for a diplomatic mission.
Okay.
And what he went there to do is to attend the opening of the biggest dam in Africa that has been built in Ethiopia.
Okay.
So here is the video of him speaking in Ethiopia.
Okay.
The dam is not only about energy, it is about progress. It is about hope. It is about the future we want for our children. I am also pleased to announce that South Sudan is looking forward to signing an agreement to receive power from the dam. This will bring power to our towns, villages, schools, and hospitals, and open new opportunities for our people.
Right, so that's him that just spoke. And we're not going to go into the dam itself because when it was being built, there was a tension between Ethiopia and Egypt.
Yes.
And this was due to the flow of River Nile water. So, but we're not going into it. We're just going to look at this idea of South Sudan looking into getting an agreement with Ethiopia to get power supply from Ethiopia from that new dam.
Okay.
So my question is, do you support the idea of importing the electricity from the Ethiopian new dam?
I don't support it. This is because we have a Fuller Dam, which is already a planned pre-construction hydroelectric power plant on the White Nile near New Mule. This is something that has been, like they said, they intended to power the nation by 2035. We are now in 2025. We only have 10 years to go, right? So I don't see the need of signing an agreement with another country to supply power to our country when the same River Nile passes through your country. And you can actually put something towards that project. Because I think it would cost less if we were to build a dam than rely on power being supplied from another country. And that means they will need poles coming all the way from Ethiopia to South Sudan. And yeah, like there's nothing wrong really with getting power from other countries because even the US, there are some states that get power from Canada. The same applies to Kenya and Uganda. Also in South Africa. But then when are you going to build something constructive if you're only looking at getting power? All these other countries, it's not like they don't have their own power. They have power, but then if this is the nearest to those bordering states, then you just take it from your neighboring country, but it's not like you're overly relying on the outsiders. Yeah.
Well, for me, I will support the idea of importing this electricity from the Ethiopian new dam.
Okay.
The reason why I support that one is because right now, looking at the condition where our country is and looking at the proposal that you were making earlier, like we have a Fuller Dam, the same River Nile passed through our country. Why are we not building our own? I'm going to look at some of the factors that will not lead to South Sudan doing that.
Okay.
Look at the corruption itself and look at the economic crisis that the country is. hydroelectric power need a lot of investment. It needs some billions. And already South Sudan does not have that money because as of now, they're already struggling paying the civil servants. It's called, the one that they're like paying civil servants is called operating expenses or it's operating expenditure. This is a regular thing that every government is supposed to be meeting on monthly basis.
Yeah.
But our country is struggling with that. It shows that this country is far behind in even putting anything aside for the investment.
Okay.
And because we need the country to move forward, it will be a good idea to import that power from Ethiopia so that our people can start enjoying the benefit of having power right now. But we will not, South Sudan will not have to stop from there, saying that now that we already have
Power from
from Ethiopia, we should abandon all our plans and now rely on Ethiopia, right? We don't have to do that because as countries and as leaders come in, things can always change in the future, right?
True.
And the leader that might come may be aggressive toward your country and they might cut the power supply or some trade deals here and there.
They fail or
Yes.
backfire.
So for me, I support the idea. Let's go in, take the power so that we can start industrializing our country as soon as possible. Because there might be people with millions of dollars or with a lot of money that just need a stable supply of electricity to start investing in industries.
Where can I locate those people?
Are you looking for investors?
Yes, I need someone to invest in my life.
Yeah, so that one, yeah, so I truly support that one. And like you mentioned, other countries like Kenya has been importing the power from Uganda and also from Ethiopia. When you go
But they also have their own power supply.
But look at it this way.
Yeah.
It's not like Kenyan have abandoned the electric, their power supply. They have their own, but because this is not enough compared to the population that they have to import. And look.
Yeah. So that's a supplementary power, right? That's what I was saying. That if you sign this deal and you're only going to focus on importing power from Ethiopia, then when are you going to actualize your dream? Because initially they said what stopped this Fuller Dam construction was the civil war. Civil war, it's been how many years now down the line?
No,
from 2013.
I don't think it had even started.
Yeah.
So these are
No, like it was just a plan to start moving. So now we are almost 10 years past the civil war.
No, that one has not ended. There are so many militias everywhere, so we can't conclude that we have stopped fighting.
Yeah, but still, like, it's not that rampant, right?
No,
there's no war everywhere.
No,
there's war in some places.
Especially in the eastern Equatoria, that areas, because I know, like, the Fuller Dam is around Numli and Kajokeji area. There are a lot of SPLM IOs there. There are a lot of Thomas Shirilo forces there. So these people can just backstab that how do you call it? That project if it was to be started. But that's not the priority of the government at the moment.
Okay.
The priority is even to pay regular expenses, civil servant salaries, the army, everybody. Like, that's the top priority. So dam is there, but we don't have that surplus that have to be put toward that thing.
But still, even this kind of signing a contract, because the government of South Sudan keeps on getting kicked out of most of the things like the AU, G.E.R.D, because of failing to pay their dues, right? So they have so many outstanding expenses. Signing of this deal, I know there will have to be some money put aside before you start distributing that electricity to the society. And then citizens will start paying. But this is not going to stop corruption. Because still people will collect that money and it will kind of disappear in pockets of other people.
Do you support the idea of Ethiopian authorities collecting the fees directly from South Sudanese customers who are connected to their power? Or do you want the government of South Sudan to be buying the power itself buy it as a government, come distribute it, and collect the money from people, and then be the one paying the Ethiopian government. So there are those two parts. Which one do you support?
Okay, so yeah, because I was talking of corruption, right? And looting. In that if people were to pay directly to the government, because it's the government that is importing it, it's not like an individual deal, then the money will still disappear and they will not pay the Ethiopian government. And that might lead to the power supply being cut abruptly. So I think I would go with the government of Ethiopia collecting the money directly from the citizens. And then they have to pay taxes to the government of South Sudan. So the South Sudanese government will have to cut their percentage, and then the Ethiopian government take their money. Because if it has to go through the government, then again, their budgets are never like on point. And then priorities are kind of competing. So you'll find that this money has been collected. It's for the hydroelectric power supply from the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, G.E.R.D. But the money doesn't reach Ethiopia. Yeah. And then it would be really bad for you as a person to get your power cut simply because the government did not pay, yet you had paid the government to go and do the transactions. Yeah.
Yes, the one that I support, because I know the government of South Sudan is a government that keep changing daily, and they don't keep their promises. They don't know how to handle their funds properly.
Yeah.
So what I recommend is the government of Ethiopia, when they're building those powers, they will have a way of collecting directly from South Sudanese. In every town that they go establish some grid there, they'll have to build a mini office there that will be billing the people, making the maintenance, and then people paying to them directly, so that it is managed from the Ethiopian systems. That's how it can provide a reliable source of power supply. But if they leave it to us, they say, South Sudan, what you do as a government, you set up an organization that will be responsible
or work
for
with
this.
the Ministry of Energy.
Yes, that small organization, because this is power, or they work with that ministry that you mentioned, that we bring in the power. This ministry will now come and see how to get the employees, how to distribute it. But our agreement is this number of dollars for the power that you people take from our system. You're supposed to pay us. How you go collect from your customers, how you distribute in maintenance will all on be you. Then I will tell the Ethiopian government that you have to be a little bit careful. Yes, you have to be a little bit careful with this government, because most of things they don't always follow through, because someone will be fired the following day or after 3 months, and all the books are left in a mess.
Yeah,
and secondly,
they don't have like digital records.
Yes, and secondly, some of these people that are hired in those offices are not real professionals. These are just friends or people claiming to have the right academic papers being hired.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle these kind of things. So they will run into losses. So what I recommend is them doing everything and collecting their money.
Or
and it will be good. And it will be good for us as citizens.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of ending up supporting your point of having this instead of focusing on the fuller dam, but still I would really like the government to also put that as a priority, because we have that ministry, the Ministry of Energy and stuff, or something, and dams. Their main role is to ensure that what is stipulated under their ministry, they provide it. So you cannot just be a minister of something and that thing is non-existent. Like right now, we only using solar energy
and
in some places and generators, which are not sufficient, right? So yeah, like getting the Ethiopian government to have their own systems, and like right now in Kenya, they're using tokens. So that's one thing that I would even recommend.
But the idea of token is already in Juba.
Yeah. No,
the
like
people,
if they use tokens, right? Then the government of Ethiopia can easily collect the money directly.
through
Yeah.
token system.
And then if your tokens are finished, then your
You just have to
electricity
go
will be
purchase,
shut off until you buy others. So if they use that, it will also be very efficient. Yeah, but like relying on this, our government, no, it won't work.
Well, it seems like most people are adopting the token system. Even that G.E.R.D code that you are talking is a PPP, public and private partnership. So that means the government of South Sudan own at least 48% shares of it, and then the Ezra group, the other shareholder, owned around 50-something%, right? And these guys from Ethiopia.
Yeah.
And they're already using token. So if the thing was to be supplied by the Ethiopian, they'll come with the token system.
Yeah.
And Ethiopia is a country where everything works. Look at the airline. It is one of the largest airline
Ethiopian
in
airline.
Africa. And even when you go to the
And their services are really nice.
yeah,
too.
they have a nice customer service. The airport is clean, and the airport has an AC. And now that they have new power supply,
And then power is constant. Like,
yes, now
I've never had any day where the power goes off while at
so it's a country that
Going
has
international.
planned itself. Even like when there was this small internal conflict that they had with the Oromo region people and the kind of things, still nothing came to a standstill. They still worked, and other part of the country was still working the way it is. So it means if we leave it to the Ethiopian to do what they need to do, we'll have a constant supply of electricity until when we figure it out our things, when we start hiring the right people, we start generating other revenues other than relying on the oil, and there are so many competing priorities that the government do have right now, then I would recommend that they take it. But before it actually come to help people, you have to see like the border that we have with Ethiopia is that of Gambela. So there's Gambela, Ethiopia, Gambela, South Sudan. So from Gambela to where a lot of people are concentrated, which is maybe Juba or other towns, is a little bit far. So it will take a lot of time, and there are even no roads there.
Yeah.
So
that's one of the things I was considering, right? Because for electricity, you need like a lot of electric poles and also somewhere to put the grids.
So this will bring me to
establish some main stations.
So this will bring me to this question: that do you think South Sudan will implement this power or electricity buying process that they are trying to get from Ethiopia, considering these other factors that we tried to mention earlier?
I don't think so. Yeah, if they do, maybe like in the next couple of years, but not now. Yeah. Because there's a lot going on, right? You have so many outstanding bills, like salaries of the civil servants, which have not been paid for several months, if not over 1 year. And the government itself is not like, there's no constant source of revenue. Because when the war broke out in Sudan, the oil production stopped. That's back in 2024. And then it resumed around June of this year. And then I think it was shut down again.
Well, it's hard to keep record of the oil production when they stop, when they resume. There's always a lot of interruptions happening here and there. So it's funding, not constant. Yeah,
funding will be a major issue. And you cannot just go sign a deal empty-handed. Like, you need to provide at least some deposit and then put some work in place of how to get this power from here to there. And then if, let's say, because the government of Ethiopia is stable, they can offer to provide that electricity maybe up to somewhere in Juba. And then that becomes a debt for the government of South Sudan to pay. and probably with some interest. And they'll be given some years to make those payments. Yeah. But at the signing stages, I don't think the transaction will be completed without some payment being made. So
Yes. So for me, I don't think if the whole thing itself will go through. Yes, the agreement signing and whatever, all the paperwork might be signed, but it kicking off is going to be another task.
sounds good on paper.
Yes, because like you mentioned, there are a lot of issues that are happening right now in South Sudan. And power supply to them is not their priority. Stabilizing their government, having people to eat is one of their top priorities. The only way that it can work is if the Ethiopian government sign an agreement with South Sudan and say, this is how much, apart from just supplying the electricity from our dam, we are going to do some other investment that we need to recoup back. So what they do, they're the one that are going to put the poles, provide the security until wherever it will reach in South Sudan, build it, and then they will be the one collecting their fees. But they will have to calculate how much they have invested, like the starting or the initial capital investment. They will have to say, this is how much we have invested. And for us to recoup back our money, we have to supply this, we have to bill some of your customers or some of your citizens that will get connected to our power for this number of years so that we are able to recoup back our initial investment, so that South Sudan doesn't have to put anything in it. Everything is coming from Ethiopia, from the lines, from the poles, from the power itself is the Ethiopian thing. And then what we just do as customers that are happy to get the electricity is just to pay our monthly bills that we'll be incurring from using the electricity. That will be the best way. But again, I still have my reservation that it will not go through, because this is not the first time that we are signing an agreement to get power. We did one with Uganda. When you go to Uganda is a country that some areas of it do not have power supply because people have not requested for it, but there's excess power. They use the Ginger Dam.
No, I don't think it's because people have not requested for it, but because maybe the area is kind of remote. And then also poverty level.
Yeah, so you have to, government don't give it for free, right? So you have to request for it. So like Uganda have excess electricity, and that's why they used to supply part of Kenya, because they export part of it. They still have excess that they can give to South Sudan, but there's no right framework that has been able to be formed between the two governments. Take, for example, if you go to Ilegu, Ilegu is supplied by the hydroelectric power from Uganda. And it's just few meters between it and Numili. How many poles does it need just to supply only Numili? Just to get on the other side of the bridge to Numili is maybe 5 of them max. But they have not been able to do that because the other thing that the government has not been able to follow through. So Ethiopia is not the first government that we are approaching for this power supply deal. And then also, like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, that South Sudan do not honor most of the agreement. When they joined East Africa, they have not been paying their membership fee. These people are always late. They're part of the G.E.R.D, they don't pay. These people don't know that when you join something, you have to set things aside. That for this membership, this is what we are supposed to be paying monthly or yearly. Put the money aside.
At least pay in advance. If you get the cash and you think it's going to be misappropriated,
then you pay in advance, because if countries were to be rated, I think they used to be rated, because I saw was it an article or a newspaper that I read where they were saying the countries that are not paying their membership fees are Burundi and South Sudan. Burundi is another country that is like South Sudan. Yes. So if you cannot just pay your membership to be a member of East African community, what of these big power supply signing that they're going to do? So it's crazy, but we need that power.
Yeah.
And the best way is to let the countries that are willing to supply do the whole process, even collecting of the fees. Let them collect so that they will be at peace that if we implement this, we'll be able to get back our money. There are no general in South Sudan that will be collecting those money and decide to keep the money. And when you go there, you want to fight with them. And how do you even supply electricity to South Sudan when people are fighting over the border issue between Uganda and South Sudan? You see, some community members will say, why are Uganda's electric posts being put on our land? And it's like, oh man, the kind of argument that our people have sometimes.
Illiteracy.
Yeah.
Illiteracy will make people not to see the benefits that they are supposed to get or that they are going to get by allowing some things. An electric post, it doesn't take a lot of space. Yeah.
That does not mean that the person is taking your land.
Yeah.
It's just so that your community members or your countrymen can get the power.
Yeah, so like in Sheikh, there's some place with very shitty network. And I think it's digital. They wanted to set up like an area for network boosters within a church compound. It's not a very big, like this room, very small space. And then the church members and, like this politics and stuff, they entered the issue. Someone ended up being taken to jail. One of those leaders was arrested. But by the time I came back, that issue had been resolved. It's like there are some people who wanted to be bribed, and then there are some indigenous owners of the land saying they need a certain commission. But these people were coming to rent that spot. And people were saying that these people said they found that there's network in this area. No explanation of people who are not educated.
Yeah.
It's just that those people realize this area does not have network
coverage, and then that is specific location because it was a church location. There are low chances of a lot of residential buildings being built there. So this space will be
just
available.
an empty space.
So that's why they chose that one. Otherwise, they can just choose somebody plot and they would still build it around that area.
Yeah, but people were not seeing like the value that this thing is bringing. Whenever someone calls you, you have to walk around looking for network and all that. Then at the end of the day, they actually ended up establishing that booster. And right now, I don't know how far they are with it, but probably it has already been settled and it's probably working.
Yeah.
But then, like, you see some of these issues, just a small spot to put the booster, and then now someone would make like a big deal
out of it.
Simply because of putting electric poles. One pole, it just goes, it's like a pole of your fence. Yeah. And it doesn't take up much of your space.
Yeah.
People resist change.
All right, so that's it for Jimosi podcast. So you guys know now that Salva Kiir went to Ethiopia to attend the opening of the grand opening of the dam, the biggest dam in Africa. And they're looking to sign agreement with that country so that we can also get a piece of it in terms of power supply. And so that our hospital and school can benefit from there.
Yes.
And guess who met with President Kiir? Ruto mwenyewe was there.
Kasongo.
The president of Kenya had attended too.
Okay.
So he was there. And then the senior presidential envoy for special programs.
Adut mwenyewe.
She went.
Father and daughter.
Yes, so they both went. But like when they were taking the flight, she was not shown among the people going. But for some of the photos that were taken on ground, she appeared there. Like she didn't want to take the spotlight.
Special programs supposed to be in other countries too, or what is it?
No, it was good that she went. I have no issue with that. And then also like Ethiopia, we have a good relationship with them. So it's another good country. It also has a good relationship with the first family. So which is also another good thing. So we don't have any blood. I don't see any bad blood between South Sudan and Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia.
Like generally,
with
South
Sudan, we
is
have
okay with
we have some
most
small
of the
issues,
East African countries.
Yes.
Yeah, our main issue is that bad governance, but otherwise we are okay. We are a happy people, very generous.
Yes. And I was looking at it this way.
Yeah.
You know, like when you go to Ethiopia, there are some Nuer that are part of Ethiopia, that Ethiopian citizens,
the Gambela.
and some of Anuak. When you come to Uganda, there are some Equatorians communities that are also
I think
part of
someone mentioned Kuku.
No, somebody clarified that Kuku are not on the other side.
Okay.
They are only on this side, but there were other
Sudan.
but there were other communities that they mentioned. They share the border.
Yeah.
And when you go to the part of Western Equatoria, the one that border with the Chad or Central Africa.
Yeah.
You remember the Bongara? So, so there are some South Sudanese communities that also have people there.
Yeah.
And the same thing to Congo. So the only community that I'm seeing being left out here, if things were to go bad, is only the Dinka. They have no cousins around, because when you go to Kenya, you have the Toposa that are on the Kenyan side that look Turkana, like they speak the same language with the Toposa.
Yeah.
So they're like cousins.
Plain Nilots.
Yeah, but for us Dinka, we have no connection.
We have the lakes people of Kenya.
No, those ones are too far. They are extremely far, and
those are our cousins too.
No, there are people called Luos in South Sudan.
Yeah.
But Luos are not Dinkas. They're just Nilots. So we can't just go with the one Nilot, because if we go with the Nilots, there will be more Nilots everywhere.
Yeah.
So let's say, do you have any Dinka that's a Dinka somewhere in East Africa?
I don't think so. That's because I almost said
we
our
share
province,
no borders.
Our state is kind of interior. Like it's
Inside
towards the central part of the country. So it doesn't share any border with
any of those countries.
Yeah, an external country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise we would have Dinka Somali and Dinka. Yeah. But it's all good.
Yeah.
We are all South Sudanese at the end of the day.
Yes. So that's what matters most.
Yeah. Oh, actually, coming back to Adut going to Ethiopia with the dad, I think it's not a bad thing. I was just asking, so, like, when is she starting to work? Because she just recently...
I think it has started. They are going to... This is part of the special program. They talk of schools and hospitals being supplied with electricity.
Okay.
And she has been championing for that. So maybe it's one of the things that she's going to work on.
For her. Yeah. And it's also good PR for her father. And the country. Our last hope.
Yes. Okay.
Please consider subscribing and also like the video, share with your friends and relatives. Let them subscribe.
Yes, and see you in the next video.
Yep.